Welcome to the Discover Me podcast, where we bring you amazing people doing remarkable things in a very influential way. I'm Lavanna.
And I'm Brian. And today we have with us Alan Pike, personal trainer, competitive bodybuilder, and Air Force veteran. Welcome, man.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate y'all for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast. I definitely appreciate that.
No, we appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Yes.
For sure. So let's get right on into it. First question that we always like to ask, because we want to know, the people want to know, tell us a little bit about who Alan Pike is.
Well, I come from a small city in Arkansas called Chittister, Arkansas. You know, population 350 people, right?
Oh,
went to small town. Super
okay.
small town. And I met my brother right here, back when I was in college. We met at SAU, right? But then we also went to school at Henderson State. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm originally from Arkansas. Like I said, grew up in a small town. Grew up farming with my grandparents. That was just the lifestyle that I came up in. Played sports all through high school, little bit in college, but and just I'm a fitness enthusiast. And that passion just kind of developed out of my love for the sports and just me preparing myself for sports, coming up through the years. And that just naturally kind of translated into my passion for fitness. So now I'm a full-time personal trainer. Also an Air Force vet, just like Brian, so.
And Vanna.
Yeah, it's, did that for 4 years.
Okay.
First base was in Spangdahlem, Germany.
Right.
Some of us landed in Ellsworth, South Dakota. It was great, but Spangdahlem, okay.
Yeah. And then from there I went to Scott Air Force Base, which landed me here where I am today in Illinois. And I got out in 2013. I was there from 2009 to 2013. And I've been here ever since doing my personal training. And that's a little bit about me.
All right. So what sports did you play?
Well, I did football at Henderson. Now, coming up in high school, I did the major three, in my opinion, which was football, track, basketball. Didn't do baseball because that was at the same time as track, and I was a real big fan of track. So I did those three in high school, but then in Henderson State, I played football.
I remember that. I think I was telling Vanna, said, man, Pike wasn't that big at SAU. But then we got to Henderson. I remember looking one day like, man, this dude look like Phil Heath to somebody. Like, what are you?
But see, the thing is, man, I really got serious with it at SAU. And I think you had already left.
Yeah.
Once I had really got serious with it, because I met a guy. I don't know if you remember who Robert Richards was. I don't know if you ever met him.
No.
Yeah, well, he was this guy, man, was Texas State weightlifting champ in high school 2 years in a row.
Wow.
This guy was 6 feet tall, 300 pounds with a six-pack. If you can imagine that. And he was who really took me under his wing and just kind of showed me the ropes, showed me the basics of how to get strong and put on some muscle, and he kind of guided me along the way. And then I took what I learned from him and then some of the things I was learning on my own and just kind of came up with my own approach that was more suited for me. And, I just kind of built on that passion that started right there at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia. And then by the time I got to Henderson, I had a little bit of a foundation under me. Got back into sports after being out for a long time. And then, just kept on pushing forward in that arena. And, it just, everything I learned along the way, from working out with the team and then just steady reading more, research on my own, kind of helped me just to develop what I have going on right now.
If you don't mind me asking, so because you were so much into sports and you were heavily involved in sports, it sounds like it in college, what led you to the Air Force?
Well, I had a lot of family members that had been through the military within different branches of service. So I had like uncles that were in the Army. I had close friends that went to the Air Force.
Mm.
So all my close friends were telling me, hey, if you don't have a whole lot going on right now, hey, look into the Air Force. It's a good way of life. And then even my uncles and my father was Army too. Don't let me forget him. All of them told me, hey, if you're gonna go to the service, go to the Air Force.
Yes, that's what.
That's what I heard.
Yes, that's
You
what I
know,
think everybody say that.
yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah,
they steered me in that direction, told me how it is when you go overseas, you get a chance to meet uh, people from different walks of life, see things you never thought you'd be able to see before, travel to different countries. And, at the time I was fresh out of college, I had graduated college, but just didn't have, um, I would say probably the right sense of direction that I wanted to really apply to my fitness goals. I knew I wanted to do certain things, but just nobody really let it tell me, okay, how you get things in motion. So I
yeah,
kind of still had a little more growing up to do, in my opinion. So I was like, okay, let me do something positive. Let me get out, see some new things. And I went to the Air Force, and man, it was a great decision. Got a chance to go around the world, experience some great things. And yeah, man, it's definitely a decision I don't regret.
okay.
Mhm.
So, what drove you to become a competitive bodybuilder? With I understand your fitness, everything that led up to that, but how did you get into bodybuilding?
Well, bodybuilding, it was like this. When I would say when I was young, like I would say probably, I don't know, man, junior high.
Mm.
I always liked working out, you know, whatever fitness entail, I was about it. Like I would try anything, right? And I remember like walking through my uncle's house, and he had this old school Joe Weider workout station. And it didn't have plates, but it had bands on it, like really, really, really thick rubber band. So it was no weights on it, but it came with this big, thick bodybuilding reference book, and so I was like, hey, can I have this book? He's like, yeah. Because I'm definitely not using it. It was just kind of sitting there like collecting dust. And so I started just looking through this book. I was just intrigued, like, man, like, okay. Because as a young man, you're looking at ways to come into your manhood, as they say. And I was just a little skinny kid, from the country. But I had a little work ethic in me. And I
Yeah.
was looking at this book, I was intrigued by it, and I started, I got a pair of dumbbells and I just started like working out, mimicking what I saw in this book. Whatever I could do with these little Walmart dumbbells I had, the adjustable dumbbell set, I was trying it. And so built a little foundation there or whatever. So, like I said, came up in a sports background. And, after I got done with sports, I still had a lot of energy I wanted to apply to something. I just didn't know really where I wanted to apply that energy. And at first, like when I was at SAU, you know, in Southern Arkansas University, Magnolia, didn't have any direction on how I wanted to just keep that energy and just going. So I kind of just started like more partying, just kind of like, drinking, kicking it, smoking, all of that. I was in that element hard.
Mm.
But then, I just kind of, like I said, I met my friend Rob, the weightlifting champ. And he kind of like helped me to find that area to focus that energy into with the weightlifting. And as I did that, I was like, the more I did it, the more I didn't want to do the other stuff. It was like, okay, I got this outlet. And
Yeah.
so I said, okay, well, now I actually got a gym that I can, train in. Let me bring out that old book again. So I brought that same
You
old
still
book.
had it.
Yeah, I still got it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So I brought that old book. I said, okay, now I can start doing some of this other stuff instead of just using these little rinky-dink dumbbells. And so went right back to that book. And that book was printed like in the 80s. So
Wow.
I'm still going back to the old school stuff. Now I'm adding more stuff to my repertoire, you know, and that right there is what really sparked my interest in competitive bodybuilding. Just looking at the book, seeing the routines of all the champions like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, Robbie Robertson, golden age bodybuilders, Frank Zane, mimicking what they did and just seeing the pictures. I was like, man, I wonder if I could actually do this. You know what I mean? Like, and so I just slowly over the years started inching more closer and closer towards actually getting on the stage. And that's how that became.
So you already like knew back at SAU that you wanted to compete, like you were already building.
At that point, I didn't, but as I kept doing it, I started. It's like one of those things where you start doing something, you put your energy into it, and then it attracts or leads you to other people doing the same thing that you do. You know what I mean? You could be in the streets, like a person could be like, man, I just want to be, hey, the greatest street hustler out here. You know what I mean? It's gonna lead you in the direction of other hustlers out in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, if you wanna be a doctor, lawyer, you know what I mean? You're gonna be led into the right direction the more you aspire to do something. You aspire to reach certain heights in law. Okay, then you're gonna start meeting people that have been to prestigious law schools or have their have their degrees and board certified in whatever field you want to go into. It just naturally led me into like, okay, more people bodybuilding, more people who have already achieved great things in the sport. And then kind of just told me, okay, if you want to be a bodybuilder, this is what you need to do. First, you need to cut out what you're eating. You're eating these Philly cheesesteaks and drinking beer.
Don't cut the Phillies out now.
You gotta trade that in for some chicken breasts and broccoli and sweet potatoes. And so, okay, so started doing all that. And then I finally made up my mind, okay, yeah, it's time to take the step and just get out there and do it and see what happens. Mm-hmm.
This discipline, like you touched on the discipline just a little. Can you tell me a little bit more about the discipline that it takes to be a bodybuilder?
I put it like this: the discipline aspect is not as hard if you love it. You know what I mean? Like me, I had a passion for it. So, and like I told you earlier, I found that it was a healthy outlet for me. So I'm like, okay, it's been going good so far. Let me go deeper into it. You know what I mean? And see what happens with that. And so it was more me following a passion. Now with the discipline, yes, like I told you, I was doing the Phillies, the beers, drinking, still, dipping and dabbing here and there with junk foods because I'm a foodie. I'm a diehard foodie.
Yeah.
And now it did take a little bit of willpower to say, okay, what's more important? This food is always going to be here, or this short window of opportunity that I have to take advantage of, my youth, to take advantage of that short window that I have to really improve my body while I'm still young. You know what I mean? And see if I can achieve something that I'm passionate about. Because hey, when I'm an old man, these burgers, pizza, wings, ribs, they still gonna be here. Yep. But the chance to actually achieve something that's gonna give me some fulfillment in life is not always gonna be there. So that was the easy decision for me. And I went toward that fulfillment route.
Okay.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that your passion will spark that discipline. I like it.
Yeah. And a lot of times, we take things like that for granted. We sometimes, you got the opportunities you take for granted, your talents that you take for granted. And if you miss out on that opportunity, it might not always come back. So I tell everybody, just take advantage of your chances that you get, because you might not get a second. Everybody's gonna get one chance. You know what I mean? It's all about what you do with it.
Yeah.
if you're ready at that time, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
and if not, get ready. Because I like what you said about the food will always be there. I've never thought about that.
Facts.
Like I want to enjoy it right now, but that is a different way of looking at it. Like it will be here when I plan to live till I'm 100. So when I'm 99 and I want to eat whatever, whenever, I'm going to do it from 99 to 100.
Yeah,
Thank you. I needed that.
yeah,
You're
I hate it.
disciplined.
That's a good goal to have, though. Longevity is something that, you know, we don't start thinking about until we are on the back end. You know what I mean? Until we like deep into our later years of life. We start thinking about it hard. Then we're in the doctor every other week, doctor's office every other week. But you know, we're not really thinking about, okay, what can we do proactive
Yeah.
while we're young? You know what I'm saying? So that's a good goal to have.
Yeah. So we really start with subtracting 10 years off of the age. So
Mm-hmm.
start there and you live that way, then you can continue to subtract those years.
Wait, how does this work?
How old am I?
No,
Exactly.
that's
So
not.
so I always tell the kids that I am 26 and although I'm not, but that's okay. But for them, I'm 26. And in my mind, I tell myself that my body is 26. I train my body like I'm 26. I treat it like it's 26. And in a few years, I'll let it go up. But it's a mentality thing. But
Mm-hmm.
we here to talk about you and your bodybuilding. And
Right on.
Brian letting me be 26. Go ahead.
So like what so at what point did you decide like, hey, enough of this of me, I want to train others? Because you train some people and I see them on Instagram. I'm like, man, these people winning. um they actually
Yeah.
winning these competitions, like they killing it.
Mm-hmm. You know, man, I didn't even know I wanted to be a trainer for until I was halfway through college. Like, because I started off at when I started off at SAU before I transferred to Henderson, I was a business major, and you know, I was kind of up and down with school. I have a semester where I was all in, and I have a semester where I just got tired of the grind and just fell back into kicking it. You know what I mean? But so it was one of those semesters where I kind of fell off. I ain't gonna lie to you, straight up. And then so a young lady came to me and asked me to train her because she had seen me working out. Now on this semester where I fell off, you know, I started actually like going really hard on the weights. You know, I was spending more time on the weights than in the library.
Gotcha.
And so people started seeing what I was doing. You know, so this lady asked me, hey, "Can you train me for the Miss SAU pageant?" And then,
Okay.
and then, hey, I'm transparent. All honesty, right here. This is a transparent statement. I was high when she asked me. You know what I'm saying? I was in that element. I was like all bad. You know what I mean? But I was like, so I'm like, what? Train you? She was like, yeah. I mean, I just want to do this SAU pageant, but I just need somebody to help me get in shape for this dress. I'm like, all right. I meet me in the gym tomorrow at after class, like 4:30 or whatever. So we started. So I just started teaching her how to work out. You know, at that time, man, the school had a little rinky-dink gym. I mean, it was no bench press, no squat rack. I mean, they may have had 7 or 8 treadmills and a few little rinky-dink pieces of equipment. But hey, we got it in that little gym, like 3 days a week. You know, try to show her like, okay, stay away from eating this, eat this instead. Now, mind you, I've never done this before, no credentials whatsoever, not even one little kinesiology class yet, you know, so I'm just going off of what I read in my big old thick bodybuilding book. Once again, back to the book. And after it was over with, she did the pageant. She didn't win, but she showed so much gratitude that it touched me. And then I was like, okay, if doing this for a living is gonna give me this feeling every time, then hey, forget a business degree. Hey, I went to the counselor the next day. I said, hey, I need to change my major. You know, the next day, I said, I need to change the major. I want to be business no more. I want to be a personal trainer. What degree do I need? You know, and so that was when I decided that's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing it ever since. So how long has this time, what's this timeline?
Now this is like 2005, which was my last semester at SAU.
Wow.
Then I transferred over to Henderson State University. You know, because at that time, I just said, okay, I just want to put all the past behind me. I want to kind of get back on the right track with my academics. And man, it was a night and day difference when I got to HSU. Instead of people saying, hey, come over, we're going to kick it tonight, people was like, hey, come over, we're going to have a study group. And I was like, oh, okay, I see the difference. I see the difference. I see why doing good things over here and then SAU is just, well, that's another story. But so that was 2005. Now, fast forward, like I told you, I got into football again, you know, after being out since high school. So working out with the team, going through a season with them. One of the star players was getting ready to go play in the European Football League. And by this time, you know, I'm just full steam ahead with my fitness level, my fitness training then, you know, like I'm halfway bodybuilding, halfway football training. I'm doing everything. And so they were like, I wasn't one of the best on the field, but when it came to training, they knew what to come to at that point. And so he's like, hey, Pike, I want you to get me ready to go to the European League. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. Like I never trained an athlete before. I'm like, hey, I'm down with it. Just meet me here, 4:30 after class. You know, we got it in. He went through it. You know, showed him some stuff he never did before. First day, I mean, it's the star player, the strongest one on the team, but that first workout, he was in there throwing up on the floor.
Oh,
he had to mop it up too. But hey, we went through a whole off season of training, and man, he went over there and he got. This was Sam Carter.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Remember Sam?
I remember Sam.
He went over there. He got. They won the championship, and he won the defensive MVP.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, man, that's a hell of a first time client right there. Right. And so, you know, after that, I was like, okay, now I got a little bit more confidence about myself with the training, you know. And so after that, you know, I actually ended up starting to train people like after school, you know, like actually like charging people now. Like, I think I was charging like something ridiculous, like, I don't know, $10 a week. But 3 times a week, you pay me $10, hey, I got you. And I was meeting people in the rec center, you know, like, man, there was a building where they had a basketball court, then they had another little rinky-dink gym.
Yeah.
Right beside it. And so I was training people in there, like after class. And that's why I started. I started doing it in college, building up my confidence once again, you know. Got a chance to work with just a few regular people, just trying to stay in shape while trying to avoid that freshman 15 or whatever, you know. And got a chance to work with another athlete. You remember Jabril Ward?
No, I don't remember him.
Yeah. All right, well, got a chance to work with him. He did some good things. And so I'm out of college now, back home. Now I'm in Camden, Arkansas. And so started training there a little bit. And then, you know, I graduated, I think it was 2008. I stayed around home for about a year training, but still didn't have that business sense yet. No idea of LLCs, no idea of business taxes, nothing like that. You know, I'm just kind of going through with what I know. You know, nobody really there to guide me. So didn't have that guidance. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and take my friend's advice and join the service. You know, I went to the service, trained a few people here and there while I was in the service. I started building my clientele over those 4 years. And then once I landed here in Illinois, I had about another year and a half left on my enlistment. Like I said, built up some clientele right here in the local area. And when I separated, I just rolled right into it.
Okay. Smooth transition.
It wasn't as smooth as I would like for it to be, but like I said, you know, all this is just me going off of my own instincts and not really having a whole lot of actual business guidance, you know, but hey, I made it work.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for years at this point. So
yeah.
For sure. So what is it like, in your opinion, what is it that makes the average person or even you want to continue to do bodybuilding? I know you said for you it's a passion, but I see a lot of people doing it, and it's like the meals, it's not gonna be McDonald's. It ain't gonna be no Coke, but more and more people are doing it. What is it that you think that makes them keep doing this?
Man, everybody's got different motives for wanting to achieve like some bodybuilding goals. You know, some people want to do it as a career. You know what I mean? You can get to a level of bodybuilding where, okay, you're making, you know, a salary that you can actually live, you know. Sure. Some people have very lucrative bodybuilding careers. Some people want to do it because just of the sense of fulfillment that they get. Me personally, you know, initially, yeah, I did get that fulfillment from it. You know, I still do, but now I use it as more of a way to just really promote my personal training business. You know what I'm saying? I use it as a way to, you know, just market myself. You know, it's a great marketing tool as well. You know,
and so who was it? I think I heard Earl. I think Earl. You know Earl.
Yeah.
I think he said something about there's a lot of people out there. He was getting along to us that he was marketing himself. His body was his way of marketing himself. That was the first time I heard that, and then you said it. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, because when you bodybuild, you know, when you go to these competitions, you know, now you're putting yourself out there in front of a lot of people in the fitness industry. You know, supplement sponsors. You know, you got fitness clothing sponsors. You know, gym owners, and then, you know, the list goes on. And so, you know, you're marketing yourself when you're on the stage, and then you got professional photographers taking photos, posting them online, you know, on the organization's website. And so people can go back and look at the results of the competition, and they, you know, they may go through, they see a physique that stands out to them. They may want to get behind that person, you know, check out and see what they're doing on social media, see what their following is like, their engagement is like, you know, so it can open up doors for you in a lot of different ways, other than just having success on the bodybuilding stage. Okay. You know, so for me, it's a marketing tool now. You know, I've done it for a long time. I still get enjoyment out of it, but now I look at it other ways too.
Okay.
So do you, as a personal trainer, do you train people for bodybuilding competitions and like personal fitness goals?
Yeah, I mean, I train the general public. You know, okay. I don't consider myself to be just a bodybuilding coach. You know, okay. I would say a very small percentage of my clients are competitors. You know what I mean? Most of the people I train are just, you know, they work regular jobs, have no desire to step on the stage. You know, some people just want to get healthy. Some people actually want to train like a bodybuilder, but have no desire to compete. Some people, you know, one guy that I train right now, he just wants to lose enough weight so that he can have a hip replacement surgery. You know what I mean? Because they don't want him to have the surgery until he's dropped, let's say, a total of, I think, like 40 pounds. You know, so, you know, a goal like that to me is even greater than stepping on the stage. I mean, that's like, because, you know, if he can't get that surgery, his quality of life over the next 10 years, you know, could really go down, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes young athletes, you know, football players, volleyball players, you know, track stars, you name it, you know, general public, whatever a person's fitness goal is, I'm trying my best to work out a individualized, customized plan for that person.
Okay. And online or
Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask.
oh, okay. Or in person or both.
Hmm. Yeah, online, I've worked with, people all over the United States, even some fellow veterans that are, that were back in Germany, or deployed in other places, so, online. And then the thing about it is when I train somebody in person, they pretty much get the same type of uh, program that an online client gets, but yeah, I do both, and I enjoy both. So, it's always good to be able to work with somebody one on one, though. Being able to, establish rapport with a person, and just being able to problem solve and just interact with different people on a day-to-day basis is a good thing, but online is cool too,
Okay.
Like this, so this fitness, I will say like the basic concepts don't change all the time, but things are changing, especially with COVID. Like, where do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself continuing to do it this way? You see you like having like a virtual class or training, getting the gym? Like, where do you see yourself next with this?
uh you know Eventually, having a gym would be awesome, later on down the road. As of right now, what I'm really focusing on in the meantime is just acquiring as much knowledge as I can to be able to pass on to the people I work with. Right now, I'm just focused on getting results, with as many people as I can, just uh, helping as many people as possible. That's the main goal right now. But yeah, having my own facility is definitely a major goal down the road. As far as COVID goes, things are starting to open up a lot again, you know. But I would say this though, when things shut down, you know, a lot of us trainers, we had to really dig deep into our bag at that point, that deep into our repertoire, and just be flexible, being able to adapt to the situation. So, we had to really polish up on our virtual training skills,
Yeah.
and we had to, show people how to improvise without the luxury of going into a gym
Sure.
or having a home gym. I was telling people, hey, you know, go get out there and start running, walking. I was showing people how to utilize exercise bands. I was showing people like, hey, you know, one of the best workouts that you can do ever is chopping wood. I was big on wood chopping. You know, I kept an axe in the trunk. And when I was driving around during the lockdown, if I saw somebody that had a log like laying out in their front yard, I was going to or like cutting down trees at their business. I was going to the business owner like, hey, I just need to get a workout in. Hey, can I go back there and get at this log? You know what I mean? Little stuff like that. I was telling people like, hey, look for uncommon solutions to this problem. Like the solution is right there in front of you if you just kind of just put on a different set of lenses. Like you can stay in shape. Like you just have to think outside the box a little bit. And so I was doing stuff like that. Hey, so one time me and some of my workout partners, we went to an abandoned lot and just pushing the car. That was leg day. Leg day was
Wow.
pushing the car. Uh, and then after we got done pushing the car, lunges all the way down the parking lot. Hey, that's replacing the squat rack, the leg press, and any other leg machine you can think of. Back day was chopping that wood. You know, chest day was just pushing it out, breaking the concrete. You know, um, and that's how we had to do it until the situation improved. So I think we all had to learn about how to be resourceful in uncommon situations. So we still take that forward. Hopefully, we don't have to go through it again. But if need be, hey, now it's not going to be unfamiliar. We know exactly how to transition into it.
And you know what to do. Put an axe in your trunk and
Right.
help the community. Wow, that's amazing. I can only imagine how much money you save people and time waiting for the businesses to open up to be able to chop that wood down. That's admirable.
Like, sure, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah. You had to do what we had to do.
so at this point, we want to play a game called Quick Six.
Mhm.
And what we do is we ask you 6 questions and you respond with the first thing that comes to mind. So,
All right, I'm ready.
all
All
right.
right. Treadmill or Stairmaster?
Stairmaster.
Okay.
Just for the reason why I think that more people can do it without blowing their knees out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I prefer Stairmaster, but for the average person, treadmill.
Okay.
Okay.
Fish or chicken?
Let's see, fish or chicken. I'm gonna have to go with chicken.
Basketball or football?
Let's see. That's tough because I love one, but I'm better at the other one.
Okay.
I was a better football player than I was at basketball, so I'm not to say football.
Okay.
Okay. Jordans or Timbs?
Jordans. I leave the Timbs for the East Coast.
All right.
Miami or Vegas?
Never been to either one, but I want to go to Vegas real bad. Vegas.
Okay, take us with you. We haven't been
That's on
either.
her list.
We haven't been either. Take us.
Yeah. Man, yeah, actually, we were talking about COVID. I had a bodybuilding competition planned at in Vegas. Had a suite on the strip. Man, everything was ready. And then as soon as all the news outlets started, putting it out there, man, the competition got canceled. Priceline, they want to give me my money back. I didn't get my money back until like one day before I was scheduled to get on the flight, and I was stressing about that too. But I gotta get another trip to Vegas planned here soon.
Definitely, yeah.
Personal time.
Yeah, well, this time it's gonna be family time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so I can't go by myself.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Last one. Hat or no hat?
Well, if my hairline go back anymore, it's gonna be hat.
Okay.
Well, right now, no hat.
Okay.
I got no hair, so it's hat for me.
I told my barber, like, man, if you go back one more centimeter.
No centimeter. Oh gosh.
Hey, I'm about to just let it go.
All right, so we're talking advice, right? So
Yeah.
Somebody who's already fit, somebody who already has a 6-pack, works out in the gym, but they're looking to become a competitive bodybuilder. What advice are you giving that person?
If they're looking to become a competitive bodybuilder,
Yep.
what I would do is don't do like I did. What I did was the wrong approach. I tried to do it just off of what I was reading on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had people that were actually trying to give me the proper advice at that time. But I ain't gonna lie, when I first started, I was kind of fooling myself. And I thought that, hey, man, what can you tell me? That was my mindset. You know what I mean? Now the thing is, if I had listened, I would have had a much better experience in my first competition. My first competition, I bombed it because, I just didn't know the proper way to diet down for a competition and maintain your muscle mass and come in with a low body fat percentage. I was just freestyling on my own, stubborn. I would recommend, if you're into fitness and you want to bodybuild, reach out to somebody who you see doing it the right way, and let that person guide you. You know what I mean? Don't Don't be so full of yourself that you can't ask other people to help you. That's my advice. Because if you get with somebody who's knowledgeable, they can save you a lot of the headaches that you have to go through if you don't. Because, it's more to it than just lifting weights. When you start talking about bodybuilding, now you're talking about, okay, how can I build or maintain as much muscle as possible while dropping body fat? You're going to it's going to be good to have somebody there telling you that, hey, you're going to have crazy mood swings when you get your calories down super low, telling you that, hey, just before you blow up on somebody, just breathe, you know what I mean? And just think about it. It's going to be valuable to have somebody telling you, okay, how you get tanned up and get all the spray tan on before a show, somebody's showing you the proper way to pose and display your physique. It's a lot that goes into it. So reach out to a professional that has a good track record, somebody you trust, somebody who doesn't have their own motives in mind, and is genuinely there to help you with your goals, not for the sake of just boosting them.
Definitely. Okay.
Now, would you tell that same thing to someone who have not been active or like is not as defined as Brian just
So I
explained?
feel like some people do just like I've seen people they look, just never been to the gym. They like I signed up for a bodybuilding competition. Now I got to get my body together. So,
No, I wouldn't recommend that, because now you're setting yourself up for another bad situation. You know what I mean? What I tell people is, okay, from the point you decide that you want to be a bodybuilder, even in that situation, I would still say reach out to somebody who is knowledgeable, because they're going to tell you, they're going to shoot you straight. They're going to say, all right, you want to be a bodybuilder, you're about a year away from actually being able to get on the stage. You know what I mean? And so they can be like, okay, what you need to be doing right now is building up your physique. Because let's say a person is, this is a random example. Let's say you're 200 pounds, right? But you don't have a lot of muscle under that. Now, if you diet down, you may lose a lot of weight. You may get down to 170. But if you don't actually have a physique built under that, it's not going to be your best showing, right? And so you want to have somebody that's going to be shooting you honest and be like, okay, what you want to do right now is start building and cleaning up your diet first, and do that for an extended period of time. You might want to do that for a whole year and just have a body recomposition, trading off muscle mass for body fat. And then you get yourself in a situation where, okay, now you're ready to actually diet for a competition, So, you got to have a foundation set first before you want to get on the stage. It's not, you can just be a smaller version of where you currently are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's always good to have somebody that can just really steer you in the right direction and not set you up for failure. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on that. And I see it a lot. A lot of people would say, hey, I'd like you to train me for this competition. This in 3 months. I'm like, okay, have you ever done a competition? All right, well, yeah, I can tell you go hard in the gym, but it's a little bit more to it than just doing it like that. So you go with somebody who's gonna shoot you straight. Whether you are already pretty much ready to diet down, or if you're just getting started, you still gotta find somebody knowledgeable to help you.
For sure.
And my diet is important.
The diet is more important. Anybody can get in the gym and work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're going to have the knowledge on how to manipulate proteins, carbs, and fats to get the look that you desire to have. It's not just as easy as, okay, I'm just going to eat clean. You got to break it down to the numbers. We talking about counting grams of carbohydrates, counting grams of protein, counting grams of fats, and which way do you need to go with each one of those. It's not as simple as, okay, I'm going to lose this fat. I'm just going to start running 2 miles a day or 3 miles a day. You know, typically running is not beneficial for bodybuilding. You got to know what type of cardio you need in order to be successful. So you got to have some guidance if you don't already know.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate that, man. That was good info that I need to, I ain't gonna lie, my diet sucks, man. So.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But we're working on it. So
Hey, man, you know, I feel like this COVID-19, man, it impacted us all in one way or another, man. Like,
true.
I can't sit here and say I was perfect during the time, but you know, and at the end of the day, man, we all have times where we have to kind of cut back a little bit and just let ourselves breathe and, you know, just manage the day-to-day stress that comes with a lot of situations we go through. And sometimes that means, okay, not stressing yourself as much by being meticulous with your food. You know what I mean? But then again, you know, like I said, it's good to have those down times. But you know, I always tell people when they want to get back into it, just start light. You know, start with just little simple healthy habits. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easier saying, okay, I'm gonna start getting my gallon of water in today. Start doing my gallon every day. All right. And then they can go from that to, okay, let me just cut out sodas. After that, it could be like, okay, let me cut out these donuts that I get every day on the way home. You know, and then from there, it'd be like, okay, on the weekend, I usually get pizza on Friday, catfish dinner on Saturday, and then a rib dinner on Sunday. Let me just cut out the rib dinner and the catfish dinner. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now you actually creating calorie deficit by doing these things. You know, and then after that, now you can start saying, okay, let me start meal planning. You know what I mean? Just take it step by step. Like, okay, let me do a cup of green tea every day when I wake up, you know, to stimulate my metabolism. And then you just kind of build on all these habits that you put in place. So that's something easy that the average person can do. Just start cutting back one thing at a time and adding in one healthy habit at a time.
Yeah.
I apologize. Like, I was not laughing at that. I was laughing because you should have put Brian behind the donuts and the pizza on Friday.
Meals,
I was like, oh, he's talking about you. Like, oh, did you tell him that this is your routine?
Wait, first
That's
of all,
what I was laughing
let's
at.
not go there because we just signed up with a new trainer. And I'm gonna need him to not see this on there.
Oh, well, okay, it starts tomorrow, but
Yeah.
that's why I was laughing, because I was like, oh, like you should just add Brian's name behind this.
And you know what? I say that because that was me. That was literally me. Like, especially when I got back from Germany, when I came out here, like I lived in an area where within 3 minutes, I had every major fast food restaurant. And then also every good restaurant in the local area was in less than 3 minutes from where I live. Now, coming from Germany, like there was the only restaurants were like the Burger King on base, and it may have been one other restaurant, like a Popeyes. So like now all this stuff is readily available. Like instead of the weekends, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean? It was like, it was no meal prepping. Hey, I was swinging into the barbecue joints like every other day. You know, it was serious. So I say that because it was me at one point. And then I had to do the same thing I just said. Okay, let me just cut down on the barbecue on Monday. And then just let me just go into the dining facility on base and just get me a plate to go. You know what I mean? Like I go through line and get the chicken breast and the salad. I just had to take it step by step.
Sure.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I at one time in my life, I used to say I wanted to be a bodybuilder, but I think it has shifted more now to just being healthy and longevity. Healthy to live until I'm 100, but it's so inspiring. what you do. Bodybuilding is so inspiring. So for you to not only, want that for yourself, but for others who want that for themselves and to coach them, that's amazing. And I give it to you on having that patience and that willingness, not for yourself and for others.
Hey, well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. It's always good to know that there's people out there that appreciate, the type of lifestyle that we try to promote. So I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And appreciate you coming on and doing this episode with us, man. This was good.
Yes.
Oh, it's all good. We go way back, man.
Yeah.
So, way back.
I'm gonna have to probably get you on here again one day on down the line.
Man, because they don't even know, man. You was my RA in the dorm, man.
Yeah.
They don't
I
even
was
know.
already in. Yeah.
They don't even know that, man. They don't know that you ran that hall, man.
That's right. That's right. So man, hey, I forgot taking the way back.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but again, man, appreciate everything. We definitely I follow you on IG.
And please tell us how others
Yeah,
can
sure.
follow, reach out to you if they desire.
Just tell them follow me on Instagram, Allen_Pike. It's ALLEN_PIKE. And then you can kind of just get a glimpse of like what I do, like as far as my routine goes, like some examples of healthy meals. What I do with some of my clients. Different supplements that I use. As far as multivitamins, joint support, protein, all that stuff. Anything dealing with fitness, you'll be able to find it on my page. Stretching, flexibility, cardio, all that stuff. So yeah, just Instagram is the best place, and then that'll just keep you up to speed with anything I got going on.
Okay.
We're gonna throw it under the video too. So
okay,
for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank y'all. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right,
You
you
too.
man.